It's Live with Kelly and Ryan. Today, actor Chris Pratt. And from the hit show Empire, Bryce Gray. Plus, Guy Fieri with a nacho recipe you won't want to miss. All next on Live. Now, here are Kelly Ripa and Ryan Seacrest.
It is Tuesday, August 21st, 2018.
Hey,
Summer
August.
rolling.
August is drawing to a conclusion, and it's time for those kids to go
Get back.
Oh, yeah.
Now, some of them,
Restless parents.
we all have restless parent syndrome. So they are saying that later school start times help teens sleep better, which is good for teens. So they're talking about delaying the start time. They've been experimenting with this at my son's school, where he's about to be a sophomore, and he has a late delay on Mondays, and they don't extend the school day, they just shorten each period a little bit.
Well,
and I think they take like the majority of it from lunch or something.
That seems good for the student to shorten the day and sleep in.
Yes, it's been very productive for him.
Here's the thing, though. I think the issue, that's 1 day a week that they do that?
They're doing it 1 day a week right now.
All right, so I think the issue is if they change the schedule and they delay it, what about parents who have to get their kids to school who can't be late for work?
Right.
That rely on that schedule that it's already on. Can you get a hall pass from if your kid starts school late and they change it on you, can you get a hall pass from your boss to come to work late? Can you shorten your periods at work? Now I'm an advocate.
Back in the 70s, in the 70s, we just figured it out. You know, parents would just let your kids stand outside for 45 additional minutes.
Yeah, no big deal. There's an article in the paper that more and more New Yorkers, specifically those in Brooklyn, are leaving the East Coast for the West Coast to move out to La La Land, they say.
Did it have something to do with the movie La La Land?
No, it just has to do with the weather, I think.
Oh.
Pretty much, yeah. It says more people from New York City are relocating to Los Angeles, which I see if it's just in the context of weather, I can understand that. It is a easier life in terms of what you have to endure.
Every year, we look at each other and go, this is our last winter. And then we realize, you know, that we have these kids with school and jobs, and we can't.
That's what it is.
No, it's not our last winter. It's not our last winter.
You can't just pick up and leave because
but in
they're
3 years, it could be our last winter.
Just give me a heads up.
I got to get one of those kids into a California school, and I'm out of here.
Here's the thing, though. If you are going to move to L.A., I warn you because the traffic. That is one thing that you need to be aware of. If you relocate, you need to have the best case scenario is to have your home and your work as close as possible so that you can use surface streets, not freeways.
Yeah.
102 hours. Each driver in Los Angeles lost in 2017 because of being in traffic. 102 hours in the car in traffic. It's crazy.
102 hours of your life
in the car.
Sitting in a car. And, you know, you're not just sitting in a car. You're sitting in road rage. You are stewing in rage. You are sitting in your own sweat and rage. And you hate that woman in front of you because you know she's texting. You can see her texting, and she's putting on mascara.
One of the things that you have to do when you're in the car for 102 hours, and those who are in long commutes, you know this, and you drink your coffee before you go, or you drink your water at work, is you need to have that bathroom where you can go in and lie about ordering. So that you can stop up on the side of the road and go in and pretend, do the fake, look at the menu. Let me just think about it, use the bathroom, run out the door.
Or just wear a fashion diaper.
Yeah, that and catheter sales are up in Southern California.
I bet.
So, well, welcome to La La Land if you're moving out there.
All right. I gotta tell you, back to that article.
Yeah.
Back to that article, the movie La La Land really did, for the first time ever in my life, make me want to live in La La Land.
Really?
I was like, is this what it's like? because I could live there. And Mark's like, you realize that it's not a big musical. So I'm like,
it's not, but they did shoot that like in real time, in real locations, in real traffic. In real traffic. I saw Chips as a kid, and that's why I wanted to move to LA.
Oh, well, I mean, listen, I married a modern day Eric Estrada because
Frank Poncherello is her husband.
I brought Chips home with me. Hey, millennials, you're a millennial, are ditching honeymoons for many moons. That's right, millennials.
Scratch it.
Sweet millennials. After you get married, you don't have to take one big honeymoon anymore. You can take thousands of honeymoons. Yeah, 82% of newlyweds are opting for a 2 to 5 day romantic getaway instead of a month-long adventure. Now, I've got a lot of thoughts about this. Mark and I only had a 5-day honeymoon. And I felt like it was about 3 weeks too short. I really did.
Okay.
But we did have a great honeymoon.
Because it was consolidated.
We had to work.
It was a 5-day consolidation.
We had to work, so it was consolidated. Yeah. But we didn't throw a wedding, so we really spared no expense on the honeymoon. So you could spend it on yourselves. We spent it on ourselves. Just the way you should do it. Instead of it's brilliant. Treating our family well. We really. Brilliant. So self-centered. I said, you know what's we're going to realize what we did when our children try to do the same thing. Mom, notice how I said try to do the same thing.
They will not be allowed.
You're right.
So you recommend a shorter, consolidated.
I'm just saying that this is what they're saying. Millennials you people are doing now.
We were all talking before the show. I think that honeymoon or trip. I like shorter and more. So something to look forward to. So if you get 9 days, I'd like to split it up into 3 threes so that you can break it down, maximize, do best ofs in the 3, and look forward to another 3. I'm just telling you.
I'm the complete opposite, but you don't have kids. So kids suck the life out of you for at least 3 days while you're traveling because you need more time. And you assume that as they get older, these things will be autonomous. But I still find myself packing, all sorts of things for grown-up children. I'm packing for them, and then I see you pointing to your child there. Yeah, all the moms are now pointing to their kids, like, packing and unpacking for grown-ups, grown people. So. I prefer a big, long time, because by the time I am finally settled, we have to leave in 48 hours.
Yeah, by the time you decompress.
Right.
Oh, so much easier to be on my side, where we just pick up, leave. We don't even unpack our own things.
What about the dogs? Do the dogs require some thought process?
So the dogs do require thought process. We actually like to be with the dogs, but we often can't.
Yeah, sometimes you can't bring your dog.
I love that thank you for comparing dogs to children. Just for my benefit.
Dogs are children that stay toddlers for a long time. So I'm like, that's my comparison.
I feed them twice. They poop once. They're good for the day.
Yeah.
Hey, one other thing that was interesting. Now, you can, if you like to pick up your coffee or pick up food, you're go. Everybody's on the run. We're busy.
Yeah.
We have ADD. So they have these apps with your favorite stores and restaurants where you can download the app and you can order on the run. And then when you get there, you don't have to wait in line.
Yeah.
Well, there's an article in the paper that talks about how people who get and use these food apps, they actually get to the restaurant or the coffee shop or the store, and they're too embarrassed to cut in line because they feel bad because people are waiting, so they just end up waiting in line even though their order's already waiting for them.
Yeah.
Would you feel...
Yes, I would feel... Listen, I had this, an agent, a TSA agent, or there was an agent. We were trying to make a flight to somewhere else, and for some reason there was a holdup when our plane landed, and we had to get off the plane and go to another plane, and they had to rush us through. And as they were rushing us through, I began flop sweating because I felt like people were looking at us like, oh, they don't think they have to wait in line because they're on TV. And I'm like, no, it's just... And so I kept, on repeat, announcing to nobody in particular that our connecting flight was late. And so we are being ushered through this line quickly because we have to make our other flight. And not because, who do we think we are? We're just, you see, we like to wait in line because it's a powerful lesson. listen. But the plane was late and delayed. And then I started speaking with a British accent.
Really, really incognito.
Because I was so uncomfortable cutting in line.
You know,
it made me so uncomfortable.
I have never told you this, and now that you bring it up, I remember before I met you, you were famous, and I had not been on anything, and I was at JFK, and all of us were waiting to get on the plane, and they had us wait, and they rushed in you and Sinbad. And
Sinbad? And me?
I don't know why you were together.
Are you sure?
Well, there was this woman doing this British accent that looked like you. I thought it was you.
Maybe it was...
It was definitely Sinbad. I thought it was you, but then you were doing these crazy accents.
Was it Kate Moss? I mean, sometimes I'm confused for a supermodel.
Possibly Christy Brinkley, Cindy Crawford. It might have been Cindy.
Was it Heidi Klum?
It was Heidi Klum.
Was it Heidi? You have been confused for Heidi.
Really? I don't remember ever
And I thought to myself, wow, someday wouldn't that be great to be rushed onto a plane with Sinbad?
Well, that's exciting. That sounds amazing.
Yeah. And then later, it was meant to be. Later we meet.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you...
Look, it could have been Heidi Klum.
Sinbad, call me, because I miss you. And I miss traveling with you. I whisked myself right off. Sinbad, why do you never call anymore?
I mean, you were quite an item, you two.
I remember dating Sinbad. Of course, I was having an affair then. Mark doesn't know.
Don't say anything. This is secret.
Hey, keep that between us,
all right? Everybody, this can't go anywhere. I wonder where I was going with
clearly London. I don't know. It's time for Dance Party Travel Trivia. We'll go. All right, Kelvin, yours works. Mine doesn't.
Kelvin, keep hitting me with this stuff. Everything you ruin, I get to own. It's amazing.
Look at mine.
So great.
Typical.
Oh, yeah.
Adam Waxman from Linwood, New Jersey, a dancer. Good to see you, brother. So, does he look like your husband, David, or is it just a little bit? All right. Well,
I worked with your son.
You did.
On Hope and Faith.
Yes.
Is that
yes,
true?
That's right.
The Dolly Mama episode.
Yes, that's right.
The Dolly Mama.
You got a great memory.
It was a very famous show, Ryan. You know, you're not the only person that has another show outside of this show.
Well, welcome.
Back when I was working with Sinbad on the circuit.
That explains everything. All right, let's call Frankie from Alpharetta, Georgia. Now, Alpharetta is like 20 minutes on 285 from where I grew up. Outside of Atlanta. Thank you. I'm a disaster.
It's like...
Bounces off. Oh, I wanted to talk to Frankie.
Frankie.
Oh, Frankie. Hi, is Frankie there?
This is Frankie.
Hi,
in
Frankie.
Alpharetta, Georgia. Frankie, it's Ryan Seacrest and Kelly Ripa.
Well, that's great.
Just want to say hi. We'll call you later. You're on the air with us right now.
Oh, we're looking at you and your big polar bear. Where was that picture taken?
Oh, that was taken in Las Vegas.
Oh, nice.
I don't even know why I asked. These pictures are always taken in Las Vegas.
Hey, Frankie, so I grew up in Dunwoody, not too far from where you are.
Go Dogs.
Well, this is great. I know. We watch your show every day.
Well, thank you for watching us. We appreciate you.
Listen, let's spin the wheel and see what you're playing for, okay?
I can...
Hey, it's a great prize, the St. James's Club, Morgan Bay, St. Lucia.
Congratulations. You and a guest will enjoy 7 days and 6 nights at the St. James's Club, Morgan Bay. The St. James's Club, Morgan Bay is set amid 25 acres of colorful hillside gardens on the coast of St. Lucia. This all-inclusive beachfront resort offers stunning ocean and garden views, nightly entertainment, 4 restaurants, and a host of land and water activities, including 4 freshwater pools, tennis, sailing, kayaking, and more. Your prize is valued at approximately $8,000.